Hey there! So following on from the video how your shoes are made, I thought I'd create a series of videos called Shoe School, and we'll go through exactly how your shoes get made. So video number one, the most important thing is the last. So the last is like a foot-shaped piece of material that your shoes get built around, and this is what one looks like. So this one's made out of plastic, but they can be made out of loads of different materials, and maybe the most kind of popular, iconic imagery of a last is a wooden sort of last, and it's often got like little adjustable pieces out the side and things like that. So if you Google images, wooden shoe last or something like that, you'll see what I mean. Anyway, so the reason why the last is so important is because the closer your foot is to the shape of this last, the more comfortable the shoe is going to be on your foot. And that's why different labels will feel different on your feet, because there's no uniform last across the shoe industry. It's kind of the same as clothing labels. They have different fit models in-house, so different clothes from different labels will fit you differently. And also why sometimes sizing varies a little bit across those labels as well. So, next most important thing about lasts is that we have lots of these things. They vary depending on the shape of the shoe. So this one here is for a round toe shoe. But if you had a shoe that was pointy toe or peep toe, then this last would change to accommodate that different shape that the shoe needs to be molded around. The other way that it changes is with respect to the heels. So we have a lot of different heel heights, and this gradient here needs to change depending on the height of the heel. So I'll show you what I mean. So this here is a 4.5-inch heel with a platform, and you can see that that's quite a steep gradient, although very comfortable to wear, I promise, compared to, say, this one here, which is a 3-inch heel, so that's much lower. And as you can see, the shape through here and through here is totally different. I mean, these are also different sizes as well, so I should acknowledge that, and the toes are a little different as well. Even though they're both round toes, they're different because of the lack of the platform under this shoe here. So all of those different changes to shape must be taken into account with that original mold, which is the last. So the next thing about the last is that, as I said, it determines the shape of the shoe. So if you've asked us to make your shoes a little bit wider around the toes, then what we would do is we would add a little bit of bulk in here before we even start the process of creating your shoes. Now the next step, so once we've selected the right last for your shoe design, is to create the pattern. And I've left this on here to show you what I mean. So the first thing is that we'll put masking tape over the entire last. I've just got it on half of this one so that I can show you what I mean. And then we'll draw the pattern onto here that you've created. So as you can see, like, this is going to determine the shape of the material pieces that are cut up and all of that kind of thing. So it's absolutely integral that this original shape that everything's being built off of is correct. The next thing is, so as I mentioned, we'd add a little bit of extra bulk around here if you wanted your shoes made a little bit wider around the toes. It doesn't change the width of the sole, but it will help to accommodate for that little bit of extra space so you can be super comfortable. And the way that this works is that when the upper is made around the shoe, that mold will push the upper out just a little bit more, so you've got a little bit more width. But what do I mean by an upper? Okay, so an upper is pretty much, generally speaking, anything up on this part of the shoe in its entirety. And I've got one here to show you. So this is an upper that hasn't been put together into a shoe for a pair of our Italian silk ruffles. And so when that is put onto the last, like this, and then it gets attached to the other pieces, like we'll put the midsole there and attach that around it, you can imagine that as that's being pulled around, if there's been a little bit of extra bulk put in underneath here, that's going to be just a little bit wider and feel super comfortable. Okay, so that's the last. That's step one of shoe school. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you like either pair of the nude shoes or the black silk ruffles, I've put links to those designs below. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and happy designing!